Hey, what is up, 5'9" gamers? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Before we get into it, it would greatly be appreciated if you could subscribe to the channel if you're new and leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. And with that said, today we are going to discuss the top 10 LF units released in 2021. And to do that, I am joined by the one and only free-to-play legend, The Truth. How you doing, man?
Hello! Yes, I grinded up a lot of free-to-play crystals to get my LFs ready to go.
Yeah, I heard there's a secret content creator event. So before we go in, just a quick question is, how hard was it for you to make this list? Because we talked about it a little bit before, and I feel like this may be interesting for the viewers as well. It's just thought process.
Okay, so I feel like the top was like super easy, right? Because in this meta, you just see like the same 5 units in every match anyway. But it's like the end of the list was actually really tough because I feel like a lot of these characters are super good, but it's like there's just factors in this meta preventing them from being utilized, right? And
yeah.
It's like I feel like for a PvP game like this, like, you know, a character like, let's just use Cell for an example. Cell might be really good, but I actually have not seen him in like 3 seasons, right? So it's like, is he really that good? If no one's using him like that, it matters.
Yeah, or his team is dead, but I agree with that. It's like the first 5 units for me, they were all like super clear. And then, yeah, we have 13 LFs, so we are not placing 3 of them. And I was pretty clear on which ones I'm not going to place, but like the order of the last 5, I was just like, all right, roll a dice. Okay. Oh, this is a 6? Okay. So, Truth, who do you have as your number 10?
My number 10 I have is Kid Buu, actually. I feel like Kid Buu is just... one of the really things I think that like really matters is characters that have something that could like cancel buffs and shit like that, right? So I feel like Kid Buu's main is just a huge help. Like I know Ultra Gogeta's gonna one-shot him? 1 strike and Kid Buu's dead. But I mean, if you're really good, you could, you know, just not get hit with Kid Buu, right? Like it's how you use them. And then like that main killing buffs, I love that.
True, especially in the hybrids meta, that was pretty nice.
Yep.
Yeah, so my number 10 is actually Rosé, and it was very close for me to not place him, and I think the only reason he got placed is because of the resurgence of Endurance Future and his just rising value in, you know, his inherent endurance nullification, because he's kind of squishy. He doesn't do a lot of damage. He has that endurance nullification, so it gives you a free rising, and he has kind of, you know, annoying green card, which is also a long animation, so that's also just kind of a double-edged sword. And the one good thing about him is like the 20% chance to destroy a Dragon Ball on strike, which, I don't know, it never seems to proc for me, though.
Yeah. I don't know. The only reason I feel like Rosé is even viable at all is endurance killing, right? Like, anytime I've fought Rosé, he just feels like nothing. The only thing I worry about is him just rushing. That's it. Like,
yeah, pretty much. And then he can die, because like mine is 14 stars. And I mean, granted, I might not have the best equips for him, but nah. Doesn't feel that strong for me. So who's your 9?
Number 9 I have is Merge Zamasu. The reason I put him above Kid Buu is I feel like his green is just so crazy, right? You get the 1 lock, you know, you nullify what is it?
Type.
Unfavorable element, like he goes neutral. Like that green. And the thing is, Merge Zamasu is one of the, he's always got a green, right? He's always PV fishing with a green in his hand. But again, just like Kid Buu with this guy, he gets melted. Now,
oh yeah.
I feel like a tap attack from Ultra Gogeta does about 25% of Zamasu's health.
If he gets crit, he taps him to death probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I put Kid Buu on the 9th spot for me. It's like, in my opinion, he's like the best green card, or at least one of the best green cards in the game. You know, with his like, I think he restores Vanish like 5 times almost fully. It's at 70% or something. So you can annoy people a lot with that. And then what I really love is you pop the green, you start a combo, and then every 4 counts you regain 40 key, or every 3 counts you regain that key, and that combined with the card draw speed, you know, you just combo forever.
Yeah, because the green gives card draw as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
Yeah, and then what you said, canceling the buffs on main, you know, he has a pretty good ultimate. And I mean, I main regen, I needed to have 1 regen unit in here at least.
Yeah, I feel like a way to kill buffs on the team is important. Like, it's because the ship gets crazy, right, with a lot of these characters. So
yeah, agreed. And I actually have to say, I didn't even place Corrupted Zamasu. And it was, for me, it was really hard between him and Rose, because I mean they're on the same teams mainly, like Future and Powerful Opponent. Obviously there's Regen, but you know, Rose has the nullification of endurance completely, like always. And for Zamasu, it's only after his main for a couple of counts. And I feel like that, just that little bit inched like Rose ahead of Zamasu, because yeah, Zamasu heals himself, but again, two-carded.
For me, I just like sort of like when I'm fighting, Zamasu is very scary to me. Like, he could do so much, right? He can main rush and ignore endurance. He's got the green. He does so much damage once he starts ramping up. Whereas I see Rose and he feels like a fish to me. It's just the rush where he cancels endurance is the only concern I ever have with Rose.
Yeah, but I feel like, you know, I mean, it also lost value again now with the meta where there's like Super Saiyans and, you know, like teams that don't really have endurance. But when it was just mono purple or Future, Rose was a threat. Especially if you're playing Future and you have the choice of bringing him or Rose and Zamasu. I feel like that's where he gained his value, and now he's falling off again. Alright, so I'm gonna go for my number 8, and that is Great Ape Vegeta. And this is partially because of the current meta where there's just so many blue units, but also just, you know, he was really good on release. But I feel like he fell off pretty quickly. I didn't see him that much after, even on release, but especially after release, he was like, you know, every now and then you see him in a match. He also has that AoE green card. He gets a blue card on green, and then one thing that was really clutch was the sub count manipulation on the blue card, right? So he's like 5 sub counts less, so that, you know, you can throw your opponent off. He rising rushes, and you actually have the endurance unit back and just laugh him in the face.
I feel like he works pretty well with Goku and Vegeta too. Like the way he's able to sort of like generate that blue with his green, and then what is he? He get, what is it? 5 ki he gets back when he strikes or something like that.
I think strike and blast.
Yeah, I think Great Ape Vegeta is really good. And of course, the annoying green card is always super powerful. I actually really like that Great Ape Vegeta. He's on my list as well.
Yeah, the one thing that he speaks a little bit against him is also his low HP recovery on endurance, just 20%. So if you're just starting a combo, you can still kill him. But he also has a heal on main, which, for example, Future Gohan comes back with 40%, but he doesn't heal. Unless you have like a healer on your team outside of him. Yep. So who's yours? Number 8.
For me, I have full power Frieza right here. I feel like there's also a huge jump for me from like 9 and 10. I don't see very much and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like Frieza is just better than the other two. I mean, a lot of it has to do with the current meta, and that mono purple is still like the most common team, I feel like. Even with Ultra Gogeta, it's like just mono purple's like every other match, right? But I like Frieza, you know, being able to get his Vanish Gauge back on main is good. Destroying the Dragon Balls when he cover changes is pretty good as well. Or wait, is it? Oh no, it's just when he enters. Okay, it's Cell I'm thinking of. He has to specifically cover change, right? To destroy a Dragon Ball. Yeah, so Frieza's is better. Then of course he's got the AoE blue. And then the endurance nullification, of course. So important with Trunks and Future Gohan in every other match.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. For me, I have placed him as well, but we'll get to that in a bit. So that was all you say for Frieza?
Yep.
Yeah, so number 7, I'm going to go next, is for me, is Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. Flawless defenses, not. That's the one thing they were announcing him with, like, yes, he has flawless defense. I'm like, no, he doesn't. But he can combo forever with his 20 ki restoration when ki goes below 35 after using a card. He needs to be built up a little bit to do full damage, but then, you know, like the blue card when he goes type neutral is really nice. And when he pops a revive, he goes type neutral for even 30 counts, I think. And he also pops 2 Dragon Balls of your opponent. Has a pretty cool ult. And his green card heals him, which is super helpful. And it draws another card. So, yeah, I think that's what puts him slightly above Ape Vegeta. Even though he doesn't have endurance and he doesn't have the sub-manipulation.
One thing I've found with Evolution Vegeta too is that first, so it's like, he draws a blue when he cover changes, right, that first time, which is just like, I feel like that's like very helpful. Yeah, he goes neutral on the blue. Like, it's a nice combo that he's got there. Yeah,
it doesn't even matter who you're cover changing against as long as you just hit the right cover change. I think it's once, but still, you know, you can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, with his type neutral. Oh yeah, he does a lot of damage with that blue. So for me, this is where I have Grade 8 Vegeta, is right here.
Okay.
Again, just very good. Green card, endurance. His ult does a lot of damage. One thing I found about this Vegeta too, I haven't tested this against Ultra Gogeta, but often Grade 8 Vegeta can still kill blue units on a rush because he gets that extra 40% against blue. I feel like that does matter. Like, you could kind of just, like, rush blue units with Grade 8 Vegeta, and he'll kill type disadvantage more often than other, like, units in the game that would rush type disadvantage, right?
That's fair. The funny thing is, on my list, I also wrote down, which I forgot to say, is that I didn't really feel the extra damage against blue. I guess for rush, it makes more of a difference, too, because you want to, rush to kill, obviously. But I feel like in a combo, I'm not sure I saw it, but my 8 Vegeta is also, quote-unquote, only 6 stars.
To me, where it really feels like you could tell is rush. Because I always feel very confident rushing blue units with Grade 8 Vegeta. Like, I remember when I was out, like, there was a season I was running Saiyans. I was running Yellow Vegeta, Grade 8 Vegeta, and then Super Saiyan 3. And, like, fighting a lot of Namek Gokus, I always felt comfortable, like, if I could catch Namek Goku in a rush in my Grade 8 Vegeta, I'd kill him. Even if he's 14 star and stuff like that.
Yeah, 40% damage against blues. And he also has extra damage against Saiyan, so that helps him, I guess, as well.
Yep, and the damage against Goku, yeah.
Fair enough. So who's your number 6?
Number 6, I actually have Evolution Blue Vegeta. Again, a lot of the same stuff we talked about, right?
Yeah.
The cover change, I feel like his green is good. And then you cannot switch against Vegeta. You like, unless you're, like, very comfortable going into, like, some crazy defensive unit like Goku Black and Zamasu or something like that, you start getting switch happy against Blue Vegeta, and he's going to tear through your team, right? Like, he just gets crazy.
That's true, unless you actually match the cover.
What is it exactly? It's 25% damage he gets when his key is under 35. If he gets, like, 3 of those off in a row or some shit, you're just done. Like, it's over.
Yeah, 25% for 15 counts and 20 key as well for the 35. Yeah.
So he just keeps going and going and going. And then he draws a card when you switch, right? When he faces an enemy? What is it exactly?
Yeah, I think so. And this way you can also just combo forever. Like, for me, number 6 is actually full power Frieza, and that's mainly because of, the meta we had before this one, where it was still like mono purple or endurance future. And I think we talked about him sufficiently already, but yeah, pretty much that's where he surged in value for me again, because I mean, LOE itself is dead, but Frieza profits from being also able to be run on the powerful opponent team. Or you just, you're crazy and you run him like with Cooler, which is also powerful opponent, but crits, Yeah, so these were the units for me that were pretty hard to place. Now I'm curious for your number 5 though.
Number 5, I have Yellow Future Gohan at number 5.
Nice, me too.
He is very good. He's got endurance. You see him in every single match. He's got the cover change, which is annoying. He, kills your cards when he cover switches. But the thing about, like, the one negative about Yellow Future Gohan, because at this point, top 5, like, kind of like what pushes, like, this guy towards the back, he is very squishy, I feel like. Like, if you get him caught against the Vegeta from the, the Goku and Vegeta will 2-card this Gohan, right? Like, he's out of there.
Yeah. I think I've had instances where actually my Gohan got one shot with a blue card.
Yep.
From Vegeta. I mean, obviously, it's Goku and Vegeta, but still, this shouldn't happen. Like, this feels so frustrating when it happens, But I agree also, the cover change, in my opinion, is probably one of the best, because even if, your opponent uses a strike, you're still destroying 2 cards. Yep. And also, if you're using the main and then you hit them with a blue card, all they have left is blast cards, because everything else is locked. Which is so annoying, Imagine you have your handful of strikes, maybe a green and a blue card, and he pops his main. Green and blue card locked. He pops a blue card. Your strikes are locked too. You can't do anything except for dance around.
He's got the seal on main as well. What is it? Blue and green cards he seals, I think.
Exactly. And then also when when an ally is dead, he goes type neutral for 15 counts twice. So that's actually clutched me a couple of matches against Goku and Vegeta, just because, I don't know, like Rose and Zamasu got rushed, and then I can already do damage against the Vegeta. So this is really clutch sometimes, and yeah, that's also why I liked him a lot. But I agree that he is squishy, and you also need good equips to actually make him do damage. He needs to build up a little bit as well.
Yep.
Okay, so number 4. I have Revival Gohan. What about you?
Yep, that's what I have right here as well.
I figured, like, for me, it's a notch above Future Han, because, like, Revival can be cucked, but it cannot be killed. You know, it's like you can't be one-carded by a Vegeta or something and not come back. You can come back with less HP if Trunks taps you to death, or you can come back with, like, less Dragon Balls or no cards if it's Cell or something, but you come back. And then you get the crazy damage with the blue cards. You know, you go... you have the green card before transformation, which reduces your sub count, which is awesome. You have a team heal, which is super helpful. And yeah, the one thing I hate about him, or the biggest thing I hate about him, is that his transforming animation takes like an entire episode.
Yeah. And you're going to see it about 500 million billion times in the future still, right?
Mono purple much?
One thing I've found with this Gohan in this meta is that, like, every team you're running against, like, either Goku and Vegeta or Ultra Gogeta, it feels like, right? And it's like they just kill anything in their way. But it's like, hey, they'll take Gohan's first life, and then at least you're free from that combo, and you still have, like, you know, your character alive, so.
Yep. You can try.
Ultra Gogeta comes in off that Bardock switch, and anything is dead. Nothing can stop him, so.
Especially if you use the green card.
Yep.
That's a big yikes.
And I have found that, too, like, when Gohan transforms, his damage is still, I think, impressive after he transforms.
Yep.
Super Saiyan 2.
And then he also has the AoE green card, you know, which we talked about before. And if
one thing about his, though, compared to, like, Ape Vegeta and Majub, is that he doesn't get the special, like, cover change notification like they do, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and also
like,
if he uses a main ability and destroys, like, 4 cards, you're screwed.
Yeah. But I've won off of Gohan, like, greening me, and then just striking and cover switch, you know, Trunks blue, you're done, right? Like.
Yeah, that's basically always the situation where I'm like, okay, now you have to pull your pants down and show me if you have a strike or a blast card. Like, after that green card, I don't think you can actually forward dash and use a card without a dropping combo. So yeah, number 3, what's your number 3?
I actually have Trunks at number 3.
Okay. Interesting. I don't, so you go first.
Yep. Trunks is really nasty. You know, he does so much. One thing about Trunks that I've found has actually won me so many matches is that when his gauge fills up, he kills 60 ki on the enemy, right? The amount of times where they've been comboing, my gauge fills up and they just stop right in place, and I'll just, like, strike right away or something like that and catch him and then, like, win the match off of that. It has been too many times to count, right? Like, it's like a lot of times it's difficult to always be aware of exactly what that gauge is with everything else going on. And, like, that filling up mid combo, he's got endurance, he gets the heal, and then Trunks with the gauge filled up, his damage is nuts, right? Gets card draw, his ult starts to hit like a missile, and Trunks is really good.
Yeah, that's also part of my list, that the gauge actually saved me a bunch of times. But my number 3 is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Laughed at release, but now he's become a monster with his, like, Zenkai Plat equip, where, you know, he basically he cucks Revival, he gets damage if you've, unlike me, managed to get that last slot to a red one, which I still haven't done, and I tried another 100 erasers today. You know, Blast Armor is always great. He has this double blue card still. I mean, people are catching on, but, you know, even if you're just using one blue card that you land, and you still have a blue card in your hand for Ultra Gogeta, for example, where you just destroy the opponent's cards, you know? And cover nullification on green card is pretty awesome, which we talked about before, because then, you know, especially with so many cover change units around, this is just, you know, giving you peace of mind, and you just focus on whatever else you want. So I think that's dope. And now he can actually tank.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, defense type, woohoo, everybody laughed at him after release and showing how he, like, he got 2-shot by some units, or, you know, Cell killing him later or whatever.
Yeah.
So am I...
Yeah. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, to me, he's just a menace, right? Like, the blast armor, it goes neutral on main, right? He gets such a... what does he heal? 30% on main, which is always really noticeable, right? Like, if they've got a revive, you just rush with him instantaneously the second you get it, and you basically you're halfway to another rush. Like, he's just ridiculous. And the way he counters Goku and Vegeta, Ultra Gogeta, and Trunks, like, Gogeta is really good against all of the units you fight in every single match. That's probably the main reason I put him above Trunks. Like, Trunks is really good. One other thing about Trunks I didn't mention. I mean, your number 2, I assume, is Trunks anyway,
yes.
right? So we can... Yeah. Trunks can farm up a rush like crazy with the green.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just, boom, draw 4 new cards. Like, sometimes you get matches where these Trunkses are rushing at, like, 165 and shit like that. It's because of that green of his.
Feels bad, man.
Yep.
But yeah, pretty much that. And for me, Trunks is just a little bit better. Like his powerful ultimate when he's last man standing is type neutral. But also Gogeta goes type neutral on main for 20 counts and gets card draw speed. So I feel like that's a very close call. And it's also a bit of a matter of like personal preference and playstyle. So I'm guessing number 1 is pretty obvious. Drum roll, Truth. You want to do the honors?
Yeah. Why does this unit get 70% vanish on blue, Palm? Why?
It's like, I don't know.
No, man.
Absolutely not, dude. It feels so stupid. And they always have a green or a blue card when they need it. I mean, the thing is that this freaking Goku and Vegeta, like this Goku gets a green card on sidestep. And the first time he uses the green card, he gets a blue card. So if you catch the opponent in a combo, you're free again. Even if you don't, you still have your vanish back, you know? It's stupid.
The healing... Vegeta ignores like cover change when he greens. It's just there's just so much that this unit does. The permanent stacking special move damage every time they switch. It's stupid. Card draw, healing, key. It's crazy.
It is absolutely crazy, and it's also the best feeling ever to have your Majub or future Gohan one shot by Vegeta. Not.
Yeah.
And he always does.
Funny is, I would probably, like, I'd argue, like, Ultra Gogeta is, like, better, like, the best unit in the game, but I'd rather fight Ultra Gogeta.
Yeah, he's much more straightforward.
Yep.
Especially since you don't always know when, like, for Ultra Gogeta, you also see when his gauge is full, you know, so you know when he has a blue card. But for Goku and Vegeta, because it's on that main ability slot, you don't see when they can switch. So you need to actually count how many times you hit them or they use the card. But then try doing that when they switch 3 times with other units. You forget about that, and you're like, okay, can he switch now? Can I use my green unit against Vegeta, or is he gonna just switch to Goku? You know, it's like, I don't know. And they always seem to start off with the green card too. Like, if you start off with the green card, you pretty much win the match if your opponent does anything.
Yep, and then Goku's blue kills Ki, destroys cards too. Like, they actually do everything, right? It's like, oh, you just press your main? Well, let me press my green. Maybe I'll destroy it, right? Like,
yeah, true. And then reduce Ki and everything. It's just, ugh. They do everything except for endurance, but they have so much healing going on that they might as well be like a revival character or something. So yeah, those were our top 10. And then regarding the units that you didn't place, I'm assuming we both didn't play Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because why would we, I guess? It's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just bad.
Yeah, even with his equip, he's still not really anywhere to be seen. And
poor Cell. Dude, I haven't fought Cell in like 3 or 4 seasons. Like,
same.
I don't know.
And I actually main region, and I actually 14 star that Cell liked him, but it's like, it's not, no, I can't use him. It's like Hybrid's meta is over, so Cell's meta is also over.
Poor Cell, man.
Yeah, and then you didn't place Rosé, I guess, and I didn't place Corrupted Zamasu.
Yep.
Yeah, I think for similar reasons.
To me, my word for Rosé is fish. Literally, all he has to me that's scary at all is endurance nullification.
Yeah, squish
and
fish.
Even then, I think like yellow DKP, like yellow DKP is what Rosé wants to be, right? Like,
yeah. But well, he's missing quite a bit. I mean, he has strong bleed. Okay, don't forget.
Oh yeah.
He was the first one with strong bleed, dude.
So terrifying when Goku and Vegeta just healed all back in 1 second.
Oh, I lost 40k in 2 seconds. Oh, I'm just gonna hit a strike card. Thank you. So yeah, there you go. That's our top 10 LFs of 2021. We did not discuss the Zenkais. Let us know in the comments what you think. And yeah, with that said, have a good rest of your day. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, Twitch, all the other stuff as well. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.